Hey, how's it going? Just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience working with Special Olympics athletes this spring. All in all, I learned a lot. It really was a great experience. It was a humbling experience to say the least. I enjoyed every Thursday going in and working with those athletes. Just seeing how appreciative they were and just how much they enjoyed having us there. Especially some of the athletes in particular that really, really like working with us coaches. It was an experience that you know I think every college student should have. I know it's not feasible, but it was rewarding seeing those athletes want to participate, want to talk to you, they want to tell you what's going on in their lives. It really, really is a great experience. Most of them are always so happy to be there. Um, so I learned, how to be a better coach, you know, how to work with these athletes. And advice I would have going forward for for coaches that are working with these athletes, it's just go in every day, go in with an attitude that's always positive, upbeat. Be willing to work with them because they're excited to be there. They're energetic, and you need to bring the same amount of energy each and every day. So it's funny because, like I said, I learned a lot. And I think a lot of what I learned is about planning. It's very important to plan, very important to be prepared, especially if you're running a station. The last thing we need is us coaches to be scrambling around trying to figure out what's going on. It's important that we're prepared and on the same page so that everything runs as smoothly as possible when the practice is going. Because if we're not prepared, it's very obvious, and the athletes and their people from their agencies pick up on it really, really fast. So that's on us. Always be prepared and be ready for practice each and every day. My favorite experience is that first off, I enjoyed it all. It was an experience that I enjoyed going in, like I said, every Thursday, working with those athletes. I enjoyed the competitions they had. The event at the very end was phenomenal. Just seeing how excited all the athletes were to be there, and just kind of seeing everything culminate into one with the event we had a few weeks ago. It was fantastic. I would say also, it sounds a little weird, but I love the one-on-one challenges. Just seeing, how excited the athletes were to go up against coaches, in front of all their peers watching. To see the look on their face. Maybe a lot of them don't get a ton of attention, when they're with their agencies. So, be able to play a coach of their choice one-on-one and see how excited they were to do so was really, something neat and certainly a nice way to wrap up the practice. And I think also the Special Olympics, does reflect the mission of Niagara University. The service, putting others before yourself. That couldn't be more true when it comes to working with the Special Olympics and the Special Olympics athletes. It's important to be selfless. Always put them before yourself. When you're at practice and at the competition. It's important that you're always aware that this is their event. This isn't about you or the other coaches. It's about the athletes, and it's that servant attitude that really makes it all worthwhile. And it's feels good at the end when you see that everything you did to help make that experience what it was. Just to see their reaction makes it all worth it. And then I think going forward, really, really what this course did to impact the rest of my life. It's always being thankful for what you have. It's funny because so many of these athletes could really, really look at their situation and maybe be down on themselves and have a negative outlook on life, but they don't. Almost all of them are always positive. Some of the most upbeat people you will ever meet. So it kind of puts everything that we have going for us in perspective. And if we have what we think is a rough day, you don't have to look too much farther to see somebody that could be complaining, not, and they always have a smile on their face. So that's what I'll take away from it going forward. But all in all, it was a great experience. Certainly one of the best experiences I've had at Niagara, and I'd highly recommend it to an NU student going forward. So thank you everybody that made this possible. Thank you to all the athletes and coaches, and really looking forward to seeing what they do in the future. Thanks.